Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing all right. I got a little bit of sleep last night, better than I have been lately. So, um, yeah, it's okay. I'm doing all right. What's on my mind today? Oh, here goes. First off, for my friend, Darla, thank you. I am so humbled to be your friend. You are one of the sweetest persons on the planet. And if any of my friends subs here see Darla Lama on here, she's a mod over at Bruce Sees All. A really fun community, and Darla rocks. She's just, like I say, the sweetest person. And to know that you would follow me over on Facebook, where you're not at right now anyway, that is really something. And thank you very kindly. Um, oh, there's a woman over on Facebook, and very beautiful woman, and I do believe she has God in her heart, but I did call her a fake Christian. There was a post today. Um, it was pertaining to um, the military, and I even protested when I was 12 years old against the Vietnam War. We found out that there was drugs coming back in cadavers in the body bags during that war, and the war was never declared even a legalized war. And then again with Afghanistan, sending opium back, and also being over there in Syria and destroying villages of the native language that Christ spoke, and all the artifacts that they're stealing from the people and what they're doing over there. Well, anyway, going back to what the conversation was briefly, um, I pointed out what would God say about this, or she asked me, what does God say about this? And I said to her, if you don't know by now, I can't help you. Carry on. Well, it's the Ten Commandments. It's even the part eye for an eye, that's an eye, or a tooth for a tooth. That's a tooth. That's not the whole body and the whole soul, or a whole nother country. And people, I just don't get it, how every generation cannot see that these wars are contrived. I mean, for God's sakes, it's only like 3 4 years ago, the Chinese president was over in our White House. They're having dinner together. What do people think they're talking about? What, they're sitting down to dinner and eating a steak, and the next thing you know, they're out there blowing up each other's villages. None of the people that propose these wars, they're not out there fighting them. They're sending the youngsters to fight the wars. You know, um, when are people going to just say, I'm not going to teach my child that somebody that will pick up a gun is a hero? When are people going to wake up to the realization that you can't make excuses for the commandments? You just can't. We can't. I can't say, hey, eye for an eye, I smacked you because you smacked me. That doesn't make it right. It really doesn't. And I've been in life threatening situations. I know what I'm talking about. Um, it's that millstone. If you teach a child wrong, it's better to have a millstone around your neck and thrown into the sea. I do not know how people can teach their children that it's okay to kill somebody just because you have a uniform on and you're working for a corporation. Not, you're not defending people, you're defending a corporate situation making money off a war. And time again, people can pass around the information, and show them, look, this is what this war is about. That's what this war is about. And it has nothing to do with the people. We're not defending anybody and we're not helping anybody. We're killing people. When is it going to stop? Don't you think it's about time? I mean, yeah, I come off harsh. I do, because I can't believe that there's people out there still supporting a system that could care less about you or the next generations to come. It is not an honorable thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what our forefathers thought. I'm the granddaughter of a 5-star general. Does that make any difference? Am I supposed to honor somebody that was willing to kill another human being for any reason? Really? My grandfather was a police officer. My first husband was Army Special Forces. My second was Air Force military. Am I supposed to what? Just teach my children that this is what we do because the generations before did that? How's it going to end unless we say no? You know? It's a little different locally if somebody's breaking in your home and the police are called. That's you. That's your situation. That's not you paying for bombs to be dropped on innocent people. And that is exactly what happens. I don't know how people can sleep at night supporting this. I really don't. That is what's on my mind today. Cheers. I really, it is upsetting. It's not something that I just stumbled upon just one moment, like all of a sudden I'm like against it, or like everything in the world upsets me, which yeah, most of it does, but no, this is something that I've had negative feelings about all my life, you know. So, and like I say, I agree with a post that I saw. If people want to fight wars, send our presidents. Like System of a Down has a song. Um, why don't the presidents white fight the wars? Why do they always send the poor? You know, or not so poor, and a lot of people get in there to get a good education or training in some area. Well, we could put a lot more money towards technical schools in this country, give people free education so they could learn to support themselves without having to join the military. And we'd have more money within our society and stay out of other countries. And if they stayed to their own business too, the world would be better off. If we weren't helping Israel demolish Palestine right now, there's thousands of people dying every year, and we're responsible for it. The same with Afghanistan. They are not our enemies. These are people in the world. These are other human beings, just like you, just like me, except for their military or our military. It's gotta end. I'm pleading with you to take a second look at those commandments and ask yourself truly, can you make an excuse for breaking any one of them? And the God of forces, the twists that are in the Bible, what God called for war, if you study deeper, you'll find out it's not the Almighty Creator. So he has never approved of one of his children dying, not one time. He's never directed anybody, even, what's it, Isaiah was asked to kill his own son. I think, don't quote me exactly, but the man that God asked to sacrifice his own son, and right before he was going to take his son's life, God stopped him. He just wanted to see how far this person was going to go for their love of him. Well, this is not the situation we're in. And these are old time stories. These are stories passed on first orally before they were ever written down. Like you would tell your child, not everything is literal. Some things, the whole Bible is spiritual. People take these things so literally. Like I say, if it were an eye for an eye, that's an eye. Somebody punch you in the eye, punch them back. Somebody breaks your tooth, break their tooth. They didn't say kill them. If they kill you, you're dead. You're not going to be able to kill them back. You know, thou shalt not kill unless you wear a uniform. Merry Christmas to the soldiers that can't be home. Yeah, you can be home. It's called absent without leave. Stand up for yourself one time. Stand up for God. Stand up for your children. What if the whole army quit at the same time? A lot of them did when they were being forced to do things that were against their better judgment. What's against their better judgment with this, what I'm talking about? It's true. You know what I'm speaking is true. And it is out of love for everybody. You think that I want to see another person go in the military and learn how to kill another human being? Do you? Really? You can honor people. I mean, like I said, generations of people have been normalizing this and passing it on like it's a thing to do, that it's honorable. There is no honor in killing. There's no honor in death. The person died, not for you, but because of their own beliefs. Nobody died for me but Christ. Came to this world, lowered himself here for us. That's the person that died for us. That's the only soul that was meant to suffer for another human being. And that's the one we honor. And it's back to the Ten Commandments. You can't make an excuse for one of them. And quite frankly, I do believe there's something like 886 laws in the Bible that people, that aren't just the Ten Commandments. They're warnings for people as a guidance. But thou shalt not kill is pretty clear. Thou shalt not kill, but except. God bless our troops. No, God bless the people you're going to kill. How about that? Or the people that have died for the corporations around the world that sit down and dine together and plan who they're going to attack next. Think about it. If the Chinese president comes into the White House and sits down and has a steak with our president, what is that all about, really? Seriously, so. It's time people really open your eyes and understand that you are expendable to these people. They are running a corporation with our money. They are living high and keeping you low and keeping you ignorant. And part of that ignorance is ignoring the 10 Commandments. There's 7 deadly sins nobody really even talks about. Yeah, that's a fact. So, yeah. I do love this woman. I'm trying not to get frustrated. It's the same one that carries on with her amens, and maybe God will go into her heart. I pray so. That people will truly look beyond, go into pre Hebrew, Aramaic, take the Syrian languages and study those. And then you're going to find the true meaning of stuff. If you can read it and read it with your heart, and it's a spiritual thing and it makes sense to you. But people take everything so literal. Well, the commandments are pretty literal. I really can't express it enough. Do I have honor and respect for anybody in a uniform? No. As a matter of fact, it turns me off even more. I had somebody today try and friend me. I have a few military on my channel, on my Facebook. I don't know about here. Perhaps. Um, I know one of my brother in laws was. I don't know what to say. I cannot respect that, you know. If that's okay with you, then it should be okay with you if because I don't agree with your opinion that I come up and slap your head off and say, "Well, that's my belief and I'm a warrior and you should honor that." So I'm a warrior for God. Does that make that right? Does it make it right because everybody in the world is doing it? Think about that. You don't want to live in Babylon, but yet you don't want to follow the commandments. You don't want to stand up for the next generation and say, enough of this. This is not right. I'm not supporting it. They have you scared of missiles that don't even exist. But yet, on the other hand, there are ones that do, and there's missiles that are being made right here in our country with materials from our so called enemies that are being sold to countries to use against other people. And those are factories that produce weaponry for other people right here in our country. There's things that need to be changed, and it needs to be changed quickly. And the only way we can do that is to start. Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you call it counselors or chancellors or mayors or legislatures or senators, governors, whoever. Have you ever talked to any of your state legislatures? Even when you have children, did you get involved with like PTA, Parent Teacher Association? Did you ever call your school board? Have you ever contacted anybody in a so called leadership position and gave them your point of view? Have you ever wrote an article in a paper? What have you done? What can you do in your community to help society? These are the things that we have to start thinking about and organize to put an end to all the crap that's harming people in this world. Come on. Really, don't sleep well. Don't sleep thinking that people are dying and it doesn't matter. And people wonder why they feel so cruddy. Don't wonder. It's no wonder to me. No, my cigarettes are not, and my swearing is not even equated to taking a human life. I'll be here far longer than a lot of younger people, trust me. I'm not going to die that easy. I have a purpose. We all do. We need to use our voices. Even if you're only talking to a friend or a relative or military, ask them what they think about thou shalt not kill. How can they make an excuse? I just want to know. I want to know. See, I'm seen. I'm told. I'm Native American. I'm told to leave my country if I don't approve of a soldier saying he died for me. That's a little ludicrous, wouldn't you think? So I'm not full blood. I've got like every kind of everybody's blood in me like that. I am such a mixture. All my roots lead to everybody, and that's a fact. I'm rather weird like that. I think weird's being good though, so if you're weird too, I'm glad. You know, be weird, be different. You know, stand out and speak up about these things, because really, even if you don't have children, think of somebody else's child. Think about somebody in Syria, their house gets blown up and the woman comes running out with her baby all bloody, screaming. And, what about that? Or a man holding his dying wife or his father or mother, it's time that we start thinking about everybody, not just ourselves. We can't let these corporate goons do whatever they want and keep doing it, you know. Like I said, localized police force, I believe in that. I still don't believe in killing anybody. There's ways you can subdue people. There's a woman on trial right now, a police officer in Minneapolis, that said she thought she was pulling her taser, and she shot a kid, a guy about 20 or so, with a child. He has a baby. So she killed him, and she thought she was pulling out her taser and ended up killing him. There's a lot of bad things going on, but I really have a hard time being sympathetic with her. I thought about being a cop, and I took the Air Force test twice, almost went in, passed high enough to be a general myself with my mechanical and physics understanding. And it's like, no, but I just couldn't do it. One thing that saved me the first time, my parents wouldn't let me do it, so I ran away again. And then I divorced them. I got emancipated. I went to court, took the Masons to court. Yeah, I did, and I won. Um, but then with my ex and my little baby, I thought, well, that would be. He kind of was trying to talk me into it, and I went and took the test. But then one day he borrowed my car that I had worked for and took it up to another town, a bigger town, and was gone like all night, left my baby. And that was something he did quite often, even for like a month and a half at a time or whatever. Said he was working or whatever, that type of bullshit. But came back and gave me my keys without my car and said that the car engine had blown up and it was a perfectly sound car, and I knew it was bullshit. But that at that point, there was two things. There's no way I was going to leave my baby with this person at that point, and especially without a vehicle. It's like, what? So that kind of messed that time up for me too. And you know what? I'm really grateful it did, because I was going to go in as a conscientious observer. But I know somebody who's a doctor that went and did that. He didn't have to go out in the field and actually kill anybody, but they put him in control of pressing the button for a bomb. Even though he didn't actually have to carry a gun and be out there shooting, he had one of the biggest responsibilities in warfare. So that didn't work out too well for him. And I'm kind of glad that. And then the second time he enlisted, that was Afghanistan. He said if he had actually known what was going on there, that's Sean Baker, MD. This is the truth. I'm telling you the truth. He said he never would have done it if he had actually realized what was going on there. But he does now. That's the thing. A lot of people realize. I have a theory. People don't get traumatized from war. This is their personality when they're going into it. This is decisions that these people make for whatever reason they're making them. That's just my opinion. You know, it's it's not an honorable thing. It's a disgusting thing. You know how many millions of people have died in wars that were trumped up for money, to make money? Every time the we're looking at war right now because of the economy. Every time the economy goes down, they have to have a war, because then it brings the industry up to building bombs and weaponry and that type of thing, and people put their taxes and their money into these type of things, so it can just continue to go on like that. These people get together and they say, well, we're going to do this to that country's going to do this to them, and they literally sit down and have discussions about who they're going to go to war with and why. And it's pre-planned. That's a fact. And it's been going on for hundreds of years, if not thousands. It's not anything new. It's like the Crusades for the Christians against the Catholics. The Catholics were literally destroying biblical evidence, and the Christians, which were at that time the Templars, went in and tried to stop them from what they were doing. Not that I approve, but they had a damn good reason, you know. But it still didn't stop the Catholic Church from becoming as big as it is and full of trickery like they are. And if anybody's Catholic, I went to a Catholic girls school. I was raised Lutheran, but then I went to a girls' school, and I've learned every major religion plus ones that most people, yeah, I wouldn't recommend even getting close to. Um, I learned all about people's beliefs like that, so I could communicate with just about anybody on that, with a deep understanding. So, um, because that's my passion. So, when's it ever going to end unless we help it end? Somebody's got to. I'm trying. I can't do it alone. Moms and dads, children, everybody, we got to stand up and say no. We're not giving you tax money to kill people no more. We're not doing it. It's not an honorable thing. Stop it. Stop saying that. Stop saying it. Next time you want to say God bless our troops, how about you say God bless the people our troops are killing? How about that? I mean, I do feel sorry for soldiers and veterans. I really do. Because I'm not saying they're going to go to hell, but I know God's not happy with them. Don't pretend He is. You know, I can't. I can't overlook it. So, well, I'm going to leave it there. That's what's on my mind today. So, thank you for joining me. I love you. The lady on my Facebook page, I hope you listen to me. I love you. You're a beautiful woman. I'm sorry I called you a fake Christian. I didn't have the right to determine whether you have God in your heart or not. But I do have the right to tell you, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not make excuses. Come on, help me. I can't do this alone. Please help me. It's serious. It's serious for everybody. For real. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.